Here. I don't see too many Rio tutorials on this Dodge Durango getting the heater core out. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown. It's going to be pretty short because I've done most of the work myself already, and I just want people to understand what's all involved. Alright, first things first. There are a couple of bolts on the sides here. One on this side, one on that side. There's also some ground screws right here in the middle, on the center, and on the other side. There are some bolts up here on the dash. There are also, you got to drop the steering column, and you've got to pretty much unplug every plug underneath the dash. There's a ton of them. As you can see, I removed the fuse panel. It just made it easier. I could get the dash further apart, and then I could get my hands inside. The heater hose has to come out. You have to remove this metal bracket right here that goes in the middle in the center console. Otherwise, you're just going to struggle. There's a ton of stuff here. It comes apart. It's not too much of a problem. I broke the brake switch, so make sure that you don't break the brake switch. When you get the dash out, I'm sure there's going to be a couple extra bolts that you're going to have to deal with. But once you get the dash out, there are 4 screws here. There's 3 on this side and 1 over here by the actual heater core hoses. You have to unplug the heater core hoses. You have to actually make sure the AC system is discharged before you start on this, because otherwise you're going to get this poof of yellow stuff in your face, and it's not going to be pretty. So you have to disconnect the actual AC box over here, and there's just quite a bit of work that you got to do. Make sure you disconnect your vacuum line that goes inside. It's right in here. That goes inside to the heater, through the heater core opening that goes into the HVAC box. Now the HVAC box is not going to come out when you take the dash out. On this side we have basically 2 bolts here, and you have the 2 bolts on that side, so you can take that bracket off. Someone was nice enough to already break the center console for me, so it just made it a little bit easier. Otherwise, you got to take the center console and move that back so you can get to it. Remove the glove box. I removed the radio, and I removed the cluster, the instrument cluster, and I did that because it just made it easier to try and get in my hands in there and unplug stuff. That's pretty much it. It's just a long, tedious job. I think it's manageable for someone who has some patience. The tutorials on it were just really crappy. There are one of these bolts. Good luck if you have the similar model with the motor. This is the 4.7, but one of these bolts is right here, right behind the transmission dipstick, which is right behind the head. There's no way you're going to get anything in there. So what I ended up doing is just getting my Sawzall up in there, and I cut it off. I'd rather do 3 and less headache than, you know, sit here and take half the motor apart just to get one stupid plastic mounting bracket to unbolt. So you can do it like I did, or you can do it the other way. I saw the tutorials, but they got their hands in there. I can't get my hands in there. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you unplug everything. You have to take the steering column apart, and you have to unplug all the plugs in the steering column. Before you start this project, make sure not only is your AC discharged, but make sure your battery's unplugged, because if you don't, you might end up popping the airbag just by the static electricity from your fingers. So just be careful, do what you got to do. I hope I was more helpful than some of these other people that didn't seem to know what they were doing. But I'm on the home stretch. I'm putting this thing back together again. Mr. PhixItAll. You know, if I've never done something before, there's always a good time to learn. If anybody has any questions, you can always sign up for my Facebook page at Brian, B-R-I-N-E-D-A Handyman. So, good luck. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you're not doing what I'm doing. Peace.